Hey everybody. What? That's insane. Let me say this to people. I mean, not that there's those people are listening to this podcast, but if by some chance somebody who is listening to this show uh, has the balls to send a death threat to a football player over a dropped pass or a fumble, like you seriously get some help because you're literally insane. The fact that you would I, that is really frustrating and saddens me a lot, especially because it had to have been coming from a Packers fan. I don't understand the mentality. You know, we were obviously sad and angry and emotional, but not to the point of ever, you know, threatening somebody's life. That is absolutely garbage, and you need to get the hell out of here with that stuff. Yeah, yeah. Like, to your point, it was nice to see that. Aaron Rodgers didn't seem overly reliant on Devontae Adams like he did at the end of the game. He was spreading it out. We were being efficient, running and passing, good balance, putting up 28 points even with a couple of turnovers in the first half. So um, it just comes down to show you, though, I think how important it is to sustain and stack success, not only week by week, game over game, but quarter over quarter, half over half. I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't know what it is with this team. I don't know if it's a complacency issue. If they thought, hey, we're up 28, on the best defense in the NFL in one half, and then they just lose their juice, or if it's a coaching issue and we didn't make any of the adjustments we needed to, or if the Colts coaching was so much better and they were able to figure us out completely in that second half. I'm not sure what the answer is, but positively, it was good to see how efficiently the offense was humming in the first half, and the defense as well. I mean, we talked about it last week or last episode. Guys were flying around the ball, making strong tackles on first or second contact, not giving up any unnecessary yardage, making plays on balls. I mean, the defense looked great too, but it's hard for a defense to sustain that throughout a full game, especially when your offense is going to have two or three consecutive three and outs. I mean, if the offense can't get a first down, in the first and the third quarter of the game, I don't know how your defense is supposed to just stay out there essentially the entire third quarter and most of the second half without giving up some yards because that's a tough, tall order for them. And I think we were maybe overly critical of the defense last week, but I think a lot of that lies with the offense and not being able to sustain anything, at the beginning of that second and most of the second half. Yeah, and then I think we've seen in the past if you're going to be a championship caliber team, you have to carry that momentum through an entire game. You can't take plays off, you can't take a series off. You have to be able to grind for 60 minutes every single week, and especially when we get into the playoffs, because good teams are going to expose you if you're not able to do that. And we saw that on Sunday, I think. Hmm. In triple coverage, essentially. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I'll say this till I'm blue in the face. When Aaron Rodgers is your quarterback, anything's possible. You've always got a chance, and he showed us again last Sunday why he's one of the best. I mean, being clutch with that throw and that play to get us into a position not only to put up 3 points, but to score before the end of the half. Pardon me. Was great to see, and that again kind of is a little bit frustrating. I know it's the 2 minute offense. You can't run that and sustain that throughout an entire quarter or a half, but it's just makes those three and outs and the inability to even get a yard or two, for 7, 8 straight plays. That just makes it that much more frustrating because you know the abilities there, you know that they can do it. And again, I don't know if it comes down to play calls or execution or what it is or a decision making by Aaron Rodgers, but you know, I don't know. I'm getting off track here. Yeah. Right. Well, right. I mean, that this the thing though is that it's a little bit more complicated than just trying to get just that play, just those 4 yards on first down, because you're trying to set up your offense for success later on, simultaneously trying to get those yards. You know what I mean? They may be trying to run the ball on 3 consecutive first downs and then have that long bomb to MVS because maybe the defense is going to play the run, in that situation, or you're working on setting up a play further on in the game plan. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit more complicated than just trying to get those yards. I know that seems, like it's really simple, but I think that's probably what we're seeing is just not necessarily overcomplicating it, but also just every play working within the master game plan. You know, and just trying to kind of find that balance between getting the yards on that play and then also setting up the offense for success later on in the game. hmm No, I mean, I think